resource rooms, which the current buildings have resource closets, maybe. So we're kind of adapting some of the spaces for the needs of the current students today and into the future. Social work, expanding, different avenues that 50 years ago may not have been discussed much. You'll see that small concept diagram, and this is just a start of thinking. It's not saying the building is going to be the shape, but it just tries to show you the square footage of classroom space relative to physical education, performance gym, auditorium, dining, media center, student parent support area, special education, bus drop-off separate from the parent and student drop-off and pickups. Just major concepts that with any new school, it's basics, but the things that need to be applied and gone through. Flip to page 57 as well. You'll see a quick diagram there. One of the requirements for any CDB grant, the building has to include a safe room to accommodate each student, or actually each building user. So that's a safe room for tornadoes, FEMA-rated safe rooms. On page 57, you'll see a diagram that takes that concept a bit further into hardening the space for potential active shooter situations, things like that, to where you could shut down a wing and, at this age level, kindergartners, first grade, second grade, it's not feasible for everyone to run down a hallway sometimes to get from one safe room in a building. So this concept shows a couple classrooms that could be adjoined, a wing on the left, wing on the right, could go into a middle hardened safe room where you spend a little more money and have the appropriate hardware doors, things like that. And that way, every student has quick access to a safe space for tornadoes, for active shooters, without going up and down the hallways.
So those rooms would be able to enter from the other rooms directly without going through.
Correct. And really, the building users, the student, the teacher, they really won't even notice a difference. There's a couple different locking mechanisms on the doors. Beyond that, there'd be a couple shutters over the windows that would roll down in an event, but those would be disguised and hidden. They look like any other classroom. As you're going through the very back, we included the survey information. I think we had, I want to say 88 responses from the staff throughout, which is a very good response. And we had some nice feedback from emails about gym use and things teachers would like. All the way through, you'll see just some of the opinions and guidance along the way. We always thought that was important for you to see an unbiased, anonymous account of what
page was that on?
That starts on page 204.
Thank you.
So that shows their feedback throughout. And then at the end of that is the start of the program, which shows the square footage of classrooms, classroom storage, say kindergarten rooms have restroom inside the classrooms. And we kind of break down different notes and where we calculated the amount of students per square footage required, per square footage recommended, to get to our total square footage for the project. And then as you flip to the very back cover, you'll get to see the construction cost estimate, total square footage of the building, cost per square foot, building costs, land site and utility costs, and then the total construction cost estimate. I know there's a ton of information in front. It's probably one that put you to bed at night, but it's a start.
Sorry, the total here, is this still, we hope, maybe worst case scenario, like as much as it can be?
This includes basically all the wants, and beyond just the needs, but all the wants is from the faculty and staff as well.
Auditorium, everything.
It's a gym, performance gym of 1,000 seats, an auditorium of 800 seats, orchestra pit, the works in the auditorium, to where it'd be a community auditorium. High school could go there for their performances and plays as well, and things like that.
So for $39 million, If we apply for the grant, then you would apply for that much,
Yep.
and then will they,
Well, I got some exciting news about that.
Okay.
The last time they met, I think, a couple weeks ago, they increased it used to be 75% was the max you get. Well, they've increased it to 87%. So if we got 87%, we don't have to pay 13% on it. That's just incredible.
Wow. Yes.
Yeah.
so we can, you know,
And
if
then-
we looked out, we can get 87%.
Yeah.
What do you think the possibility of that?
Well, since the governor put it all together, I'm going to say that's what it's going to be. You know, they're going to start with tier 1 schools, so.
Be in one area?
Tier 1 school.
All right.
Everybody in Southern Illinois is tier 1.
There could be a lot of new schools.
So, no, that's an incredible thing, very exciting thing for everybody down there. 13% is
No break.
that's
13% of that number is $5 million.
Yeah,
So we could build a $40 million school for
$5 million. Yeah.
Yeah, we have 19 million left on the bonds. Of course, you don't want to back that out, but that
$5
would,
million, I mean, that's incredible.
It is.
we could come up with easily $15 million without impacting any property taxes whatsoever. Through bonds. And this would be, we could bond this to help life safety because of the age of the buildings, you think, or is that still?
There's multiple ways to do it, so.
Okay.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's a big wow. It's pretty exciting.
Are you working with a lot of other school districts right now on this grant? You're putting us on top, right?
Yours will be sent in, not a problem.
Oh, I will.
I can't control which one you take first.
You're the
I'd
second.
love to.
You're the second we've submitted to, so you're ahead of the others.
So one person ahead of us.
Yeah. But you probably have a better chance of that.
Yeah, you have less.
Do you
Where
think-
do you know where you're ranked on the
The tier 1.
I don't know the actual ranking. I know we were 68% adequacy. Still on tier 1. No, there were a lot of schools around us that were a little, higher need.
Yeah.
Have you heard any more about the rules that they're talking about as far as?
Well, they changed the rule last August to only have 200 students instead of 400 students. So, I mean, it doesn't affect us at all either way. But other than that, I haven't heard anything else. When I heard the 87%, that's just unbelievable. They're meeting, I think they're meeting one more time. I don't know if they met last week or meeting this week before they present March 1st to the legislation.
I've heard that it's going to be a quick turnaround too.
That's what I was told. And I'm kind of nervous because quick turnaround, maybe a month, because they were always April 1st, so if they do April 1st, it's going to be a push to.
Be a very quick turnaround.
Yep.
And that's why all this was done ahead of time.
You guys are so far ahead.
So if they open the grant up, say March 1st or March 2nd or something, what's left for us to do to apply?
Not much, just fill out the grant. We'll fill out the grant for you.
We'll walk through the facilities, but nothing really for you.
Yeah, we'll have to walk through all of it, do the evaluation form, and then we'll submit it, and then CDB will come back and they'll review it, they'll walk through with us all through the facility, and they'll say, yep, everything's right, and then you'll be on the list and the ranking. And if we're doing it by tier, the tier 1s first. It's really good for Southern Illinois.
That would be nice.
Yeah. $5 million.
Yeah.
So, as soon as it comes out, we'll read it and get back with you.
And we should probably explain, I know Ryan talked to a lot of teachers and there was a consensus on making the gym/auditorium, but we asked Ryan to pull that back out because that's the one part of this whole project that can benefit everybody, including junior high school. We didn't feel like it could benefit everybody if it was included as part of it, so that's one of the reasons that's changed.
I'd like to hope it come in cost-wise, if we can make that 800 to 1,000. That wouldn't take too much more.
Yeah.
Size-wise,
Right now,
like 1,000 CR.
performance gym, and then an auxiliary extra PE gym as well, with the eligible. Really, all the bells and whistles spaces are currently included in the desire, and really are needed going forward to the future.
Understand any extra room for our other administrative offices to take care of all of the superintendent and all our.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everything's gonna be in this building.
So basically, it's kind of laid out, the administration suite, you'll see, I want to say it's about 34 square feet. That's the elementary education, and then the district suite as well, which would act independently, would probably share an entrance, but it'd be a complete separate entity within the building.
Right.
If you look at the program, page 6, you'll see elementary administration. And then just before that on page 5, you'll see district administration.
Okay, does this take into consideration any consolidation or anything that might happen?
This would be consolidating the three.
No, I'm talking about outside or this.
The building itself, I don't believe does,
Yeah.
but we talked about leaving room for expansion in the plan.
And there also
We could
were,
add later on.
Right.
Out of our pocket.
Potentially if there's enough grant, yeah.
there are 2 extra rooms added. There's a couple classes that float a little bit higher than others. So there's 2 extra classrooms beyond what you have now to accommodate that growth. As maybe that 3rd grade class goes from year to year to year. They might float in that different side of the wing. But right now, there's the 10% growth accommodated in every grade level, and then we have 2 extra classes for future as well.
We have probably enough to accommodate some of that. We do not have, we won't have, we'd have to build on it if Joppa and Massac. I think there would be enough room for everything you need to do. And you can only go so many square foot
Yeah, we can only push the envelope so much, so.
for this grant.
Right.
We can't build it big enough, so.
Can't build it too big.
Right. So even if we thought Joppa Maple Grove might come over someday, we can't do that in this grant.
They'll let you use the 10% more. They did in the past. We'll get it, you know, I'm sure it's gonna be pretty much the same because they haven't met very many times to change it. It's too complicated of a grant to change a lot.
We're talking about this classroom size, 22 to 25 kids per class.
And that's what's been programmed into this.
Right.
25 are grade level, I believe it's 4 through 6, and I think you actually did 20 instead of 22, 20 grade level change in 3.
It's based off EBF, so the evidence-based funding model is pulled from that, what they recommend.
The classrooms, all the spaces grow. Basically, all the classrooms they're working in now are undersized for any recommendations.
I don't know, we talked about it when we met, trying to accommodate as much storage and rooms as possible, because there's never
Yeah, never know.
enough.
There's a ton of storage included. So basically, every classroom, every single teacher has their own 100 square feet of storage. So a 10 by 10 closet off every classroom. And then there's group storage areas as well that I think 2 grade levels would share. But then there's storage for the monthly items that the maintenance staff may use, the yearly items that get pulled out for graduation and put up for plays. There's as much storage in here, probably it's one of the rooftops that we also.
Well, thank you for everything you've done so far.
Yeah,
Thank you
it's
for
got,
that.
it can't get any better, I mean, unless they get a good
And
break.
this goes in the first of the month?
Well,
It goes to legislation on March the 1st, and they're gonna do something with it, and they'll be going on. But this committee was handpicked, so
Okay.
he has controlled the whole thing the whole time, so that's why it's exciting that it got updated
So when it opens up, you present ours, when you say we would know something within 30 to 60 days?
It just depends. Right now, they're doing the maintenance grants, and they're really slow on that because they don't have any workers. But this is CDB, so I think CDB has more people to actually go through it. So it'll be somewhere around there. Can't really tell you for sure.
Is the maintenance grant just going through his?
Yeah. And that, I don't know if you've talked to the new gal, but holy cow. Yeah, green can be, she's gonna reject all of Josh's amendments and like, no, you need to talk to Dan. Don't reject these. So, it's been a challenge.
Does anybody have any other questions for Michael or Ryan while we're here? I know it's gonna take a little while to go through this book.
Yeah, if you guys look through that, if you have any questions, just give us a call. Call us on your cell phone or the office, doesn't matter, email us.
It's not really a layout, it's just, basically to show you size.
Yeah, it's kind of a group of size. That's kind of the relationship.
This is all covered from like, you would say, so they can come in.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can give you an idea how big each space is. I saw a picture.
Yeah.
Size 48.
That's over here. Right.
Especially
Further down.
they did, but I heard they're opening tomorrow.
We'll probably get the committee together after. We got a flight Is there anything figured out?
Does anybody out there have any question of what's going on here or anything? Would you like to ask a question or something?
Not really for them, but has there been thought on if they put it here as far as traffic goes?
Yes, there has.
Okay, good.
Yes, they covered that. They've got, you know, if you want to look at this and show you, it's pretty cool. If we have another idea too, that this is one that they've got, we got a bus drop off there by itself, and then with the family over on another side.
I'm talking about the traffic in it with all three schools if they were together.
Right, right. Yes, it is. And we have some, it looks like you've got one out on Mary Road down there.
Might have an option to have an outlet on North Avenue. So I don't know about the country club? Because I don't think Dr. Campbell can sell all of that. That could be, we looked at his field and he was willing to sell enough of it to where you have an outlet on that for sure. I think that would help, especially if you direct that slope a certain way. Well, actually, it depends. We don't have any pre-K at the school. A lot of consolidating right now. Well, we'll see. It depends on what report comes over, which is something they can decide later. And there's always mechanics of some of that grant is going to depend on, you know, if we're only going to spend $5 million of our local fund, we can add a little bit and bring people over to you. Programming. That's my answer.
You got plenty of time.
Yeah, they said it was. It's all. It's for the grant, you don't have to have the sign, you just have to use it. So there's no, we don't have like platforms, single story.
Well, just like I said, what they proposed about was what we're putting in for the grant for the money for all that. That was decided just that, and we'll have more meetings to talk with the teachers that they've interviewed and everybody. We appreciate that because it's given them a lot of insight on how these buildings are to be laid out, and student-wise, of course, there's a lot more things they have put in for student safety and stuff like that. I really like the concept of the safe classrooms where they'll be able to withstand hopefully an E5 tornado. We don't want one, but, and also for other emergencies that there are. So if there is anything else, we're going to move right on down to current minutes, bills due payable, and treasurer's report. So has everybody had a chance to look at that? Okay, we're on to minutes, bills due payable, and treasurer's report. Anybody have any question or anything? We do have our treasurer here. Give us a letter with 4 questions. If there is, do I have a motion to accept the minutes, the bills paid, billable, and treasurer's report?
I'll make that.
Do we have a second?
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We got a second? Any more discussion? Roll call, please.
Okay. Mr. Berger? Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Ms. Larison? Yes. Ms. Rushing?
Yes.
Mr. Summers?
Yes.
Mr. Sowers?
Yes.
Ms. Steele?
Yes.
Okay, next is the superintendent's report.
Okay. I've got to turn the light off. If you look through the financial statements, we're still having a little difficulty switching some of that over to the new system. Thanks, Aaron. SDS, I think Jamie and Jennifer have it figured out now. Some of the stuff we're kind of in limbo when we swapped over. So if you remember, we switched from December to January to a new system, and then there were things that were kind of out there, outstanding there we're still trying to clear up. And what do you say, maybe next month or the month after we'll have those all in?
January's been our first full month. We converted over to December 20th, so.
So the second month will be figures. So right now, you're just looking at January figures, and there were a couple outstanding checks and things. Worst case scenario, we'll have like $4,000 or $5,000 less than what that treasurer's report says. But everything else is right. The expenditures and the revenue are correct. So if you look at our expenditures, we came in at $1,008,000 for the month of January. The cash balance remained somewhat the same at it was just over $3 million. Now it's just here under $3 million, but we had just a little more expenditures than we had revenue for the month of January. So that's why that dipped down a little bit. For the year, we've taken in $15,281,000. We spent $13,248,000. So we're still okay for now. We're coming up on the dry period for revenues. Damon, you remember how much property taxes we had left? Was it $1 million? $2 million? What was it?
I think we still have more property tax payments.
Yeah, but it was only like,
It's like a little over $1 million.
yeah, it wasn't, it's only like a third of it maybe or something, I think, a little less than a third. So we still have that coming in. And then the only other revenue we're going to get is the EDF money that we get in every month, which used to be based on student attendance, now it's enrollment. And then the categoricals, which they have funded transportation a lot less this year. So we're really getting stuck with transportation, but I mean, that's kind of part of the deal. They did give us more money in the EDF, so that's the way Illinois does stuff. And then if you saw the governor's address on the budget, one of the things, it was really good for education for the most part, except for the part at the end, which basically says a lot of that's going to be held back if the graduated income tax doesn't pass. So he's only going to commit like half of the EDF money unless the graduated income tax passes, and then the categoricals, which is our transportation payments, will only come funded at what he mentioned if we get the graduated income tax. So there were several things that were connected to that income tax. So we'll have to watch next year to see how that plays out for schools. The cash, district and cash, like I said, just kind of stayed the same, adding everything together. Last month we had earned $14,000. I should have changed that to 21. We got another interest check of $7,000. So that's 21,000 from those investments so far, which is pretty good. I'm kind of excited about that. We finished our analysis of our math benchmarks. Actually, I finished it last week after Ms. Dunning made me aware of a mistake I'd made. So now they're finished, but all I have on the chart is 2nd through 8th grade because that's done online and it was easier for me to pull. I do have the kindergarten and 1st grade data, just so you can see the progress. We're entering into testing time, so we're hopeful that as long as our math benchmarks are aligned properly to the test, we should see some gains on the state testing this year. I always include the Remind message system that we've been tracking for a while. We've almost surpassed the conversations this year. We had 96,000 last year. We're at 80,000 at the end of January, so the teachers are using this. And again, this is just Remind. There are a couple other systems out there, but we have a district portal that collects all this information for us, so we'll share that. And that's part of the ESSA requirements is the communication piece. And you can see it by school there as well. We've prioritized the principals in the classroom this year. We've visited 536 classrooms so far this year. We slacked off a little bit in January. We're trying to get back in there. It's just that time of year again when things get busy. March is always a hectic time. Generally the second most disciplinary issues occur in March, second only to November, generally, statistically speaking. So this is going to be one of those times where it's more important for our administrators to be out in the classrooms, but it's also a time when they're going to be pulled back to the office, so we're just trying to prioritize that. The teachers have been great in working with us on those walkthroughs. The enrollment I updated, this is as of today. We're still basically where we were last month. We dropped a little bit more. So from the start of the year, we started the year counting pre-K with 2,027. As of today, we're at 2006. If you take pre-K out of the mix, we're at 1,900 and maybe 15, something like that, which is as low as we've been since I've been in the district from 1997. And we mentioned that last time, the enrollment trends. We're really watching that. And some of that growth that they include in that building project is projected growth. However, based on the data we have, we're not projecting growth in our district. We're still projecting a decline with enrollment. And that could change, but it's going to to be a lot of factors outside of our control that changes that. Other news, I'm trying to highlight some things. I know we went up to Red Lake on the 15th, and the boys lost a tough game, the first round of state for the 8th grade team, but they played well. They had a good season. So we're still proud of them. That team they played was just phenomenal. And then yesterday, Miss Bramer sent me a text. We had our first major scholarship for the German department. Desiree Henderson was awarded the SIU Light-Off Scholarship for German Studies, which is approximately equal to $29,000 in total tuition. So we're very happy with that. We put that on Facebook. That's really great. Paige Trout also won the first time ever the individual bowling regional for our girls. And Paige and Carson Fritch also advanced to sectionals. I don't believe they advanced past that, but they made it to sectionals. So again, some firsts there. The Lady Patriots finished very strong. I know they didn't make it very far in the regional, but they won like 8 out of the last 9 games or something like that. So they finished strong. Sophie Borman won the regional 3-point contest that they have there and advanced to sectionals. So that was positive. The Patriots finished with a 3-way tie as conference champs. I forget the other 2 that we're tied with. We play tomorrow night at Vienna, and we play the winner of Johnston City and Anna. We got a bye for the first round. If we win that game, then they play again Friday night at 7 for the championship, and then we'll advance to sectionals if they win. So that's the last of all ball games. We do have the bleacher project on hold. We were hoping to get that started as soon as our home games ended, but apparently they may need more of the gym space than what we started, so we're waiting to see how far the season goes, how far the boys go, and then we'll hopefully get that started. They need an 8-week window, so we got to get in there and get out before the graduation. So we're still hopeful we can make that happen. But all the material has been ordered, it's all ready to go. It's just a matter of when we can get in the gym and finalize that project. So, worst case scenario, it's after graduation. I would really like to have it before graduation just because of the shape of our bleachers and just peace of mind. They are in bad shape, and that's our most attended event in the school year. I mentioned the high school and the elementary testing dates that are coming up. I always try to mention that. These are important days for our kids to be in school. This is how they base a lot of our school designations, and some of our money is tied to that. So I know people have their own thoughts about standardized testing, as do I, but it's important because the state says it's important, and we have to live by that. So we're hopeful to improve our scores on that this year. A couple upcoming dates. We swapped the the second parent-teacher conference. This is something I think, Aaron, you guys, a suggestion from the teachers union last year, put in a second conference, which we're allowed to do. We're not sure how this one is going to be attended, so we're going to wait and see, but this is Friday. We did move it up. It was scheduled in March, but we felt like that would be a little late and not a lot of time to impact this spring semester if our parents are inclined to help their kids. So we'll see how that one goes. It is from 8 to 3. We've had some negative feedback on that because there's a lot of parents that can't make it from 8 to 3. I know they're trying to accommodate with other schedules and such, so we'll see how that goes. Monday is Pulaski Day, and then March 20th was our scheduled parent-teacher conference. That's going to be the half day that was scheduled for Friday. So we just flip-flopped those. And tonight, one of those calendar action items is to approve that change. We just have to officially approve it so we can submit it to ISD. And then the other calendar item is actually for next year, which we have a recommendation from the NCEA on that. Anybody have a question on that?
Thank you, Jason. Unfinished business. Unity playground fencing bids. Did everybody get a chance to look at that?
Yeah, I sent that around for 3 sides. It was 8,000 something. If you wanted to do all 4 sides, I think it'd be somewhere between 12 and 14,000 for the fence. My thoughts are, I mean, we've gone a long time without a fence there. Whatever you think, but I would hold off until we see how this grant goes, because I don't think putting that fence there will add value to the property. so you would just be utilizing that fence for a little while, or whatever you guys think. That was a request from parents, that fence, after some incidents there.
And they get the fence around
The lagoon is fenced, yeah. The
Fenced.
lagoon is fenced. This is just a playground, which would tie into the lagoon on the back side. And so there would be two sides on the back that would tie to the lagoon, and then there would be on the east and west sides going down.
any recommendation from anybody on that?
It's okay with everybody else, I heard it right. No man's friend.
My question is, at Jefferson and up at Franklin out there, we don't have all those playgrounds. The whole area is not fenced.
There's an old fence at Franklin, then you remember that. and that's
There
still-
is an old fence, it runs just along the edge of the parking lot that
The
kind of
old-
separates just the parking lot from the
Parking lot.
playground, but the rest of the
There's nothing
playground
on
is
that
not,
side.
no. I mean, there is fencing around like the back, only because the person
It's
whose
land.
property,
Land, property.
yeah.
That little good.
Yeah, it's not,
It's like a farm fence.
yeah, yeah, it's not like a,
Not a regular fence.
no.
This would be a chain link fence, I guess.
Will you be liable for an accident if you don't fix it?
We haven't ever had an issue with it in the past, however many years. As far as I know, we've never had a fence there. I went to school there back in the 80s. I think,
I went there in the 60s and we had one about that for it.
Things have changed over some of the
Yeah.
issues you've had, so
that's true. The only concern, I think, that from the parents, the big concern was animals. There are animals that roam around there a lot, dogs, chickens, and goats apparently, that wander onto the playground. So the biggest concern from the parents were animals on the playground. So
I
I
tell you, that fence is gonna keep a chicken or a goat out. And we, and we, Ben's not gonna keep all that.
Are you looking for a motion or what?
Motion to table it till after we're done by the grant, or what?
I got just one bid from Jones Fencing. He's been the cheapest one they've worked with, so. I thought it was
$8,582. What's that?
for the three sides, it was 8,000.
I'm gonna make a recommendation, that we table it, till we see where this grant process goes. Agree with the recommendation of the superintendent. I'll make that the form of motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Do we have a second? Any more discussion? Yes, roll call, please.
Mr. Berger? Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Ms. Larison?
Yes.
Ms. Rushing? Yes. Mr. Summers?
no.
Mr. Sowers?
Yes.
And Ms. Gill?
Yes.
Okay, we'll go down to the new business consideration of the amended 2019-2020 school calendar to reflect the new parent-teacher conference date, which we just went over here. That was number one, right?
Yeah, so basically, we changed the parent-teacher conference to February 28th, which was a half day, and we took the half day on March 20th. So that's for this year to make it official. We've already changed it, but we have to make it official for his year. We have to have an motion.
Okay, I need a motion.
So moved.
Need a second? We have a second. Any more discussion?
Who was the second motion on that? I'm sorry.
Larry?
Okay. Okay. Mr. Berger? Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Ms. Larison?
Yes.
Ms. Rushing? Yes. Mr. Summers?
Yes.
Mr. Sowers?
Yes.
Ms. Gill? Yes.
Okay, action taken in executive session.
No, we got the other school calendar.
Oh, okay, we got another, okay, 2020-21 school calendar.
The school calendar recommendation from MCA was calendar A, correct?
Correct, I read that.
So calendar A was basically very similar to this year. with 2 minor changes. Spring break will fall after Easter instead of before because it's early. And we moved the in-service that we've been doing the last few years from the day after Christmas break until later in January because we have trouble getting presenters to come around the holidays. So it's hard to have a full day in-service that's meaningful without having some people come in.
All right, I need a motion to accept A,
Calendar 8.
calendar A.
I'll make the motion.
Have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second, any more discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Berger? Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Ms. Larison?
Yes.
Ms. Freshy?
Yes.
Mr. Summer?
Yes.
Mr. Sowers? Ms. Field?
Yes.
All right, on resignations, I have Laura Glass, MCH Lady Baker, resigning from that position. On golf, coach, I need a motion to accept that. Have a second? Do we have a second? Have a second, any more discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Berger? Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Ms. Larison?
Yes.
Ms. Freshy?
Yes.
Mr. Summer?
Yes.
Mr. Sowers?
Yes.
Ms. Field?
Yes.
Okay, next one will be Melissa Griffith, report teacher's aide. Need a motion.
I'll make the motion to accept the resignation.
Okay, need a second?
I'll second.
We have a second, any more discussion? Please, roll call, please.
Mr. Berger? Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Ms. Larison?
Yes.
Ms. Freshy?
Yes.
Mr. Summer?
Yes.
Mr. Sowers?
Yes.
Ms. Field?
All right. Caitlin Scott, resigning from the MCHS science teacher due to moving.
Yeah, it's the end of the year, so.
Yeah, end of the year. Okay, need a motion to accept, please.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion, have a second.
I'll second.
We have a second. Any more discussion?
No.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Berger? Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Ms. Larison?
Yes.
Ms. Freshy?
Yes.
Mr. Summer?
Yes.
Mr. Sowers?
Yes.
Ms. Field?
Yes.
Ms. Field? Okay.
I should note, Melissa Griffith was
I said yes.
immediate.
Said yes.
Caitlin Scott was for the.
Ms. Scott's immediately?
No, Melissa Griffith was now.
Okay,
She's not finishing out the year. Caitlin Scott is finishing out.
okay. All right, on retirement, we'd like to acknowledge Mr. Roger Miller for his retirement. The MCHS auto mechanic, he's been here when you was here, wasn't he?
He came when I was a sophomore or junior, so probably 1988 he's been here. He's not technically our employee, so you don't have to act on his retirement. He's employed through 5 County Vocational. He's been here for a while and done a good job. We're probably, I'm sure, going to miss him when he's done, but he's been contemplating retirement for a few years now, and I think he's finally decided he's going to.
Will they have somebody else to put it on?
Will they put someone back?
Well, yeah, we have to go through 5 County. They
Yeah.
technically hire them, but they usually consult.
But there will be, the position will stay.
Yeah, this position will stay. We may need to look at how we're doing that. It's grant funded, but then we pay tuition back to them, so we save a little bit of money, but it's, I don't know, we'll look at that. There'll be a body in the classroom, one way or the other. It may not be exactly how we have it now.
Okay, any more discussion? I'd like to say one thing, Melissa Scott and the high school choir is having a sing Thursday night at 6:30 in the school here at the cafeteria. Witnessing part of her choir sing at a special event yesterday. They are a wonderful bunch of voices, and Melissa's right there working with them, so just want to make sure that everybody knows Thursday night.
And the little kids from Jefferson and Franklin, of course, the both schools got together and night did the national anthem. It was absolutely
Good. Really good. Laura?
And we have the 6th grade tournament coming up. When is that? March?
next weekend, next week.
Next week?
Yeah.
And that's at the junior high on Saturday, right?
The final change.
The final game is on Saturday there, I think.
Still a lot of activities going on.
We need to adjourn.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
You do.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any more discussion on that? Roll call, please.
Mr. Berger? Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Ms. Larison?
Yes.
Ms. Gresham?
Yes.
Mr. Summers?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Souders?
Yes.
Ms. Fields? Yes.
Thank you all for coming.